When you think about the most stressful life events, it's a new job, a divorce, death of a loved one, and moving. Of course, the current housing market is leading more people to stay put. Realtor.com predicts this year's home sales will be the lowest in over a decade. Today's average interest rate is around 6% across the country for a new loan. And since most homeowners currently have a rate lower than 4%, it's cheaper to keep her. Stay in the current house. That can add extra stress, though, to the decision-making process for people who are looking to move as they enter their retirement years. Let's bring in AARP's Retirement and Social Security editor, Andy Markowitz. Andy, thanks for being with us. I know a lot of older Americans are trying to downsize, or they want a one-story home rather than a two-story. What makes it easier for them to move and afford to in this wacky housing market we're in?
Well, one thing to consider, obviously, is where you want to go to. A lot of people who are considering relocating retirement more and more in the last couple of years, a lot of research is showing they're doing it on the basis of cost of living. It used to be the sort of cliche was that and a very true one, was that people move to be close to their family in retirement. That's still a major reason. But more and more surveys are showing that people who are nearing retirement want to find a cheaper place to live, maybe move from an expensive urban or suburban market to somewhere a little more rural, to states with lower taxes, to states that have tax breaks for retirees. So you want to look into things like that.
And where is it that people can be in a place where their lifestyle is actually, is a quality of life? I mean, depending upon whether or not they want to be close to family, that's another topic. But there might be a neighborhood, there might be a state, there might be a community where it's more affordable. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Right. Well, AARP has a great resource called the Livability Index. This is put together by our researchers and our housing experts and our community experts. And they've compiled data on hundreds of communities across the country, large, small, urban, rural, cities, counties. And that's at aarp.org/livability index. And you'll find data there, for example, on housing costs, how much of your income housing will take up in that market, quality of life issues like crime, recreational opportunities, healthcare facilities, things like that. So I'd recommend that people check. If they're looking to research specific areas, they have a few in mind, you can go to aarp.org/livability index and really sort of compare and contrast some locales.
I love that. I love it's like one-stop shopping. Any advice for adult children who are financially supporting their older parents in terms of tax breaks or incentives?
Well, as I know, most states have some kind of tax breaks for older residents. That's an issue, of course, in relocating. It might be a different issue for children, adult children looking for ways to keep their parents at home or keep them in their own communities rather than having to go to a nursing home or other type of institutional setting. AARP.org/caregiving has tons of information on this, and our caregiving channel, lots of great stories, practical information about either older adults downsizing or adult kids who want to look for ways to move their parents in or at least keep their parents in their parents' home in their own communities. And AARP also has a resource for that called our Home Fit Guide. This is primarily about accommodations. This, as you know, Adrienne, this is a really crucial element for older adults looking to age in place or for kids looking to find a way for their parents to continue safely aging in place. You want to think about what you'll need in terms of ramps, grab bars, accommodations, accessibility issues to make it safe for you to stay where you are. And the Home Fit Guide at aarp.org/homefit has tons of resources, information, guides, things like that. And importantly, and this is another important issue to consider in relocating, if you're thinking about moving to a different community in retirement, what you can do as a renter versus a home buyer in that kind of situation, what kind of accommodations you can make to your home as your physical needs change.
Right. Andy Markowitz, just go to aarp.com. There's all kinds of resources there. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.